The sponsor of my stream and podcast is DistroKid. If you want 10% off on your first subscription with DistroKid, release your music to the world on every major music platform. Make sure to go to my website, andrewvanzark.com, and click on the discount link under the tab of DistroKid.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Welcome to the Andrew Van Zark podcast.
Now you're listening with power. All right. Welcome to the Andrew Van Zark podcast here on the Planet X radio station. So let's get it. Here we discuss everything related to Star Wars, whether it is lore news, soundtrack news, or any news from the parks or merch. So, let's get here 20 great quotes from the Book of Boba Fett. It's written by Kelly Knox. So, Book of Boba Fett is a man of few words. When he speaks, you better listen to Boba Fett. In the Book of Boba Fett, now streaming on Disney Plus, the former bounty hunter recruits a formidable team to defend Tatooine and its people from Pike Syndicate. Boba picks resilient and clever allies, so you know they have a lot to say too. Let's revisit the series with 20 of the best quotes from Boba Fett, his friends, and his enemies. Let's get it. Now you're listening with power. The sponsor of my stream and podcast is DistroKid. If you want 10% off on your first subscription with DistroKid, release your music to the world on every major music platform. Make sure to go to my website, andrewvanzark.com, and click on the discount link under the tab of DistroKid. Number 1. I'm the crime lord. He's supposed to pay me, Boba Fett said. So Boba Fett gets his first clue that being the daimyo won't be easy when the mayordomo pays him a visit. The supercilious mayordomo speaks in circles. Boba, expecting to be showered with wealth and respect, is only given barely disguised condescension instead. In Chapter 1, Strangers in a Strange Land. Number 2. Shall I kill him? Fennec Shan. It pays to have Master Assassin Fennec Shan on our side, in more ways than one. Much less forgiving than Boba Fett, the pragmatic Fennec has no qualms about simply removing any obstacles in her way, usually with a sniper rifle. Chapter 1. Strangers in a Strange Land. Number 3. Jabba ruled with fear. I intended to rule with respect, said Boba Fett. Boba Fett sums up his entire philosophy as a daimyo in one straightforward summary after a long career of disintegrations. Boba has realized that not only problems have to be solved with violence, just some of them have to be resolved with violence. Chapter 1, Strangers in a Strange Land. Number 4. Sleep slightly, bounty hunter. Hot twins. So in this episode, the twins that are cousins from Jabba the Hutt pay a visit to Boba Fett. So Jabba the Hutt's twin cousins aren't subtle. The prodigious pair are not only brought into Mos Espa's accompanied by pounding drums, but they also threaten Boba Fett directly to his face. You have to admire their audacity. Chapter 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. Like Bantha, Boba Fett. Number 5. Boba's big grin as he teaches the Tusken how to ride a speeder makes one of the most memorable lines of the series, and in my opinion, a really funny one. You can see a lot of gifs about that, doing the little resemblance of Bantha and the speeders. It's just funny. So this is in Chapter 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. Number 6. If you wish to continue breathing, I advise you to weigh your next words carefully. Fennec Shan. Fennec Shan can be very persuasive. Chapter 3, The Streets of Mos Espa. Before we continue, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Andrew Van Zark. Andrew Van Zark. Andrew Van Zark. Andrew Van Zark.
The sponsor of my stream and podcast is DistroKid. If you want 10% off on your first subscription with DistroKid, release your music to the world on every major music platform. Make sure to go to my website, andrewvanzark.com, and click on the discount link under the tab of DistroKid. Now we're back. So, number 7, no hard feelings, it's just business. Boba Fett. Boba Fett has been in the bounty hunting business for a long time. He knows not to take anything personally, not even when a large Wookiee busts into the bedroom in the middle of the night to round him up. Karsistan, like all good mercenaries, is simply doing whatever his employer pays him to do. Chapter 3, The Streets of Mos Espa. Number 8, find out Banthas. Make baby Banthas. Go, Boba Fett. After spending time among the Tuskens and riding his own Bantha across the Dune Sea, Boba Fett wants to only the best for his dependable companions. Here's hoping we get to see those baby Banthas one day. Chapter 4, Gathering Storm. Number 9, do you know who am I? I am Boba Fett. His name strikes fear, even in droids. The unfortunate Ratcher droid is so scared that he immediately switches himself off. Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. Number 10, you can only get so far without a tribe, said Boba Fett. Boba has had enough of solidarity lives spent tracking the next target. The Tuskens saved his life and showed him the value of having a tribe that always has your back. Boba may have lost that found family, but he's creating another in their honor. Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. Number 11, hit it, Max. Garza Whip Unflappable, the elegant proprietor of Sanctuary, has just about seen it all, and not even an enraged Wookiee can fluster her. When things don't turn out how she expects, Garza shows the show must go on. Especially when Max Rebo is the band leader. Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm. Number 12, loyalty and solidarity are the way. The Mandalorian. Din Djarin is well aware that importance of having a clan at his back. This line echoes Boba Fett's own sentiments and foreshadows the two crossing paths again. Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian, which in my opinion is one of the best episodes of the entire series. Number 13, dated a Jawa for a while. They're quite very fury. Pelimoto, you might have a few questions, but do you really want the answers? Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian. And this is where we start to see the N1 starfighter. So number 14, Wizard the Mandalorian. This short declaration is as close as the Mandalorian ever gets to unrestrained delight, and you can blame him. Anyone in cockpit of the refurbished N1 starfighter would be ecstatic. Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian. But before we continue here with some information and the 20 quotes of the Book of Boba Fett, let's listen to the word of our sponsor.
Now you're listening with power.
The sponsor of my stream and podcast is DistroKid. If you want 10% off on your first subscription with DistroKid, release your music to the world on every major music platform. Make sure to go to my website, andrewvanzark.com, and click on the discount link under the tab of DistroKid. And we're back. Number 15, get back up, always gets back up. Luke Skywalker. When you fall hard, it might be tempting just to lay here and quit. But don't give up. Think of all the Jedis who were knocked down over and over again, but still found the courage to stand back up. Chapter 6, From the Desert Comes Strangers. So here's where we start to see like Luke, and then we got to see Ahsoka, Grogu, and the training with Luke and Grogu. Number 16, so much like your father, Ahsoka Tano. Just 5 words, but they hold so much history. Chapter 6, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. And then finally, we get to see Cad Bane. 17. I'd be careful where I was sticking my nose if I were you, said Cad Bane. Every word Cad Bane growls out of his unforgettable thanks to his distinctive voice. The Duros mercenary doesn't have a nose himself, but any urge to snicker at the irony is immediately squashed by the seriousness of his threat. Chapter 6, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. 18, We'll both die in the name of honor. The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian honors his creed and stands firm next to his ally, Boba Fett. He faces certain death with calm determination because he knows it's the right thing to do. Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. 19, This is my city, said Boba Fett. Mos Espa isn't just the base of Boba Fett's operations, it's his home, and he's going to defend it. The Pike Syndicate is about to find out the hard way. Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. Last but not least, number 20. If it's not us, then who? Fennec Shan. Boba Fett and Fennec Shan might not be the typical leaders, but Fennec recognizes that what the people of Mos Espa need right now. Boba and his associates fought hard and earned the people's respect. Boba Fett's tribe has grown a lot bigger. Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. And those were the 20 quotes that summarizes, in a way, the Book of Boba Fett. So if you haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, I recommend you to go watch it. It's phenomenal. All episodes, each and every one of them, are gonna blow you away and give you more details into who is Boba Fett and what has Boba Fett been up to till the point we get the Mandalorian till now. This was the Andrew Van Zar podcast. If you have any thoughts or any messages that you want to leave me, go check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Or my website, www.andrewvansart.com. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Sayonara. When you listen to Andrew Van Zark, you listen with power. Now, you're listening with power. Andrew Van Zark. Stream on every major music platform. Power to the music.